Hi, this is Darla Ledoux, and we're here for video 3, where we're talking about the 5 C's of your easy retreat business model. So we talked last time about the reasons that people get in their own way and they don't actually start. And the model can be so much simpler than you might think, because what you're doing is you're really offering one core signature retreat. And you're offering it once, twice, 3 times a year. And you hopefully watched my bonus video on the math behind that model. So just a quick reminder, the benefit of having a retreat-based business model is you always know what you're marketing, and you market that thing, and you get to show up and be fully you in a room of people who have come to see you. So you're using your natural brilliance, which I love. And a lot of people tell me I'm not ready. And so I want to just talk about the 5 things you really need to know to host your first retreat and have it your first real big payday. So they're the 5 C's. And I'm going to start with the first one, which is clarity. This isn't actually unique to hosting retreats. You want to have clarity in business in general. And there's 2 pieces of clarity that I believe are really important. The first is you need to be really clear what it is you believe. There is something that is so true for you that when you go through life in alignment with that, talking about it, seeing it, supporting people with that thing, they feel it and they're drawn to you like a magnet. You've got to understand and be clear about what it is you believe wholeheartedly. The second piece of clarity is clarity around your business model, and specifically, what is that retreat you're hosting and what is that transformation that you provide through your signature small retreat. So that's the first C. The second C for hosting small retreats is content. So this is where most business owners tend to get concerned. What do I actually do at my retreat? What is my content? And this is a really great question, because it's the place where people can kind of go overboard or overthink it. So just like my belief around clarity is you already know what you believe. The heart of your business is already crystal clear. You might just need some help bringing it out. The same is true for your content. You know the work you want to do with people in the room. And I'm guessing that you've probably daydreamed about it. You've maybe written ideas in little notebooks about what you would do when hosting a retreat or a workshop or something like that. And here's the thing, we've got to get your right content into this first signature retreat. Your clients, their journey with you is longer than one weekend. It's longer than just this retreat. So we need to just strategically map out what are all the things they need to get from point A to point B with your guidance, and then which of those is the first step that goes into your signature retreat so that they get a really amazing transformation and you leave them really present to their desire for more, that they got here and they really want to get here. That's really important when you go into hosting your first retreat. Content. So the third piece that's really important in hosting your small retreat, and this is one that it's easy to talk about, but it's actually very experiential to get in your bones, and that is, how do you captivate? So if you've got people in the room with you, you need to grab their attention from the start, you need to establish your credibility, and more importantly, you need to establish your vulnerability right from the start. See, being powerful in front of the room comes from carrying that unique combination of being really confident and really vulnerable, and creating that space that is safe enough for the people in the room to share. Because I'm guessing that you really want to work with clients who are truth seekers, who are looking to transform at a core level, like the root of their issue, not just at a surface level, right? And there are plenty of workshops and online training programs that someone can take to get the surface level information. But with you, they're gonna go deeper. And in order for them to go deeper, you need to really know how to go deeper and have them go on a journey with you or an experience with you that starts from the very beginning. In my Retreat and Grow Rich program, we actually work on how to tell your story in a way that helps the people in the room know exactly why you do what you do, and to really feel you and feel that you've been there and feel that it's safe to go there with you, while also knowing you've overcome it, you're on the other side. That's what it takes to really captivate. There's a couple other things I want to say about captivating, and that is, if you're an intuitive entrepreneur, some of the most captivating stuff that you will teach or do in your business is not scripted. So you've really got to design your content of your retreat to leave space for you to go unscripted. Channeling, so to speak. That word may resonate with some of you. It may scare some of you, but you probably actually do it, which is really tuning in and saying what needs to be said in the room. And that's a huge piece of being captivating. And the other piece of captivating your audience is really creating an experience for them. That has to do with your location, with how you treat them, with some of the decisions you make about what they will experience in the room. I'm a huge fan of experiential learning, and I guarantee that you already have hugely profitable ideas for what you can help people to experience that will really make an impact for them. And a lot of times what I find is people have ideas, but they think, I'm not sure if that'll really work. It could be amazing, but it could be really cheesy. When I host my Retreat and Grow Rich live retreat with people, we actually practice each of the pieces that create that captivation factor in the room, so that people walk out having practiced, having done it, having told their story, having led exercises from this place of being captivating. You can find out more about that just below this video, by the way. So that is the third step of hosting your first small retreat. The fourth C might be interesting for you. It might be obvious, but for some of you it may not be. And that is coaching. So having a signature small retreat is an amazing business tool, whether you're a coach or not. You might be a personal trainer, you might be a wellness consultant, you might be a copywriter or a graphic designer, a whole array of services. And you can still host a small retreat and have it make you huge money and bring in those high-level, loyal clients that you love. And for the time you're in front of the room leading your retreat, you are also a coach. So when it comes to coaching in front of the room, it's a whole different ballgame than if you're coaching one-on-one, you're on the phone or you're in person with someone. Because now you're managing the energies of all the different people in the room. Now what's cool is at some level you're very intuitive at that. I don't believe you'd be watching this video sequence if that weren't true about you. So you have a really good sense of the energy or the vibe of the room. Yet at the same time, it can be really tricky in the moment to make a decision. Do I coach this person? Do I go deep on whatever their question is? Do I address, the person in the room who's constantly throwing out problems? Do I ignore that and work with this person over here? And how do I coach and manage and hold the energetic space in the room? That's the fourth kind of skill that you need or decision you need to make going into your small retreat. Again, these are things you want to think through. What is my philosophy about this? It's also a great thing to practice in person, which is why I love to create that opportunity for people to be in front of the room and actually practice how different people interact. I have hosted, it's got to be close to 40 retreats at this time. And there are the four main characters that are always in every room. And I love to teach you exactly how to deal with each of those 4 characters. So again, we do that in our live program. I'd love to share everything I can here, but we only have so much time. And I really want to share with you the 5th C when it comes to hosting your small retreat. And that is cash flow. Of course, we're in business, so this one has to be there. It has to be important. How do you price your retreat? How do you pay for your retreat? When are the different payments going to be due? In other words, when you book a venue for your retreat, you place a deposit. Different hotels have different rules around how the cash flow works for them. I really love for you to think through, how do I get myself committed because I've put cash down? That usually means people will stop hiding behind their computers and actually go do it if they make a deposit. How much do I charge for this retreat? How do I make some of these decisions about whether to offer food, whether it's all inclusive, some of those things? That all affects your cash flow, right? And then on the flip side of your retreat is, how much money do you really want to make on the other side of hosting this retreat? So you've got all of the cash flow around the retreat itself, and then you've got your huge levels of profit that you have the opportunity to make on the other side of your retreat. Why? Because remember, your content is very strategically designed so that someone could come, they could take your retreat, they'd get amazing results, their life would be changed, it'll be awesome. And 50% or more of those people in the room are going to know themselves, and they will know, hey, I want more support than this. I don't just want this little piece, I want the whole enchilada. And so your cash flow is not just dependent on the people coming to the retreat, but what they decide to do with you after the retreat. That's where your amazing high-level clients, who will be your most loyal, your most fun to work with, are going to come from every single time. And that's true for you. You've got something to offer that is so much bigger than we could even cover in this one video. And I really want the chance to dive in with you and be your partner on that. And the reason this is so important to me is I really believe that small retreats can transform our world. We need more human contact, right? We need to stop hiding behind our laptops and create that real connection and intimacy with one another in order to transform and raise the consciousness on the planet. And I know that if each one of us, if I am doing that with my clients, you're doing that with your clients, she's doing that with her clients, etc., the ripple effect is phenomenal, and we really can have an impact on some of these major life issues that are happening on our planet because people are so deeply discontent at a core level. Now, I have to tell you, it's easy for me to say this stuff and for me to tell you the 5 things you need. And I have to be honest that when I hosted my first retreat, even though I didn't have this mapped out for me, I was kind of making my own way, but I knew this stuff at some level, and I was terrified. I walked into the room every single day and I said a prayer before I walked in. Now, this is a secret. If you never take my training and you just go host your retreat, take this and run with it. Every single day I walked in and I said a prayer and I said, may the greatest and highest good unfold today. And fortunately for me, in that first retreat, while I was nervous and I was uncertain and I had 182 PowerPoint slides, which I do not recommend, by the way, it still worked. It still worked, and I booked $36,000 in business in my first retreat, and I haven't looked back. So if I can do it, shaking and scared and praying, you can do it too. I invite you to consider getting some support with that. You can absolutely take this. You can go do it on your own, or you can join me in February in Calistoga for my upcoming Retreat and Grow Rich Live. Now, you can read all about that at retreatandgrowrichlive.com. I'm not going to tell you about that here. But what I want you to think about is what will be different in your life if from one small retreat, making just these 5 decisions about how you're going to approach these 5 things in the room, you could actually book $50,000, $70,000, $100,000 in recurring revenue over the next 6 months or 12 months or anywhere in between? What difference would that make in your life today? Let's stop hiding, let's come out from behind the laptops, and let's go do your real work in the world now. This is Darla Ledoux of Aligned Entrepreneurs, and we'll see you soon.